Well, Neil Peterson with
I know.
PetersonPompoms.com.
That's
Pardon
right.
me? And God, I mean, I never knew that we had this delicious wild fruit hanging around the United States that nobody knows about except you, it seems, called pom-poms. And you're going to make, revolutionize the fruit industry by introducing the world to this thing.
Well, I love the idea of introducing the world to it. But I'll be truthful as a scientist. It's not going to revolutionize.
Well,
We're
who
not going,
else is going to
not going,
invent a new
we're not going to
fruit?
solve, we're not going to solve famine in Africa
I
with this fruit.
see. Well,
It is
but
a wonderful fruit, though, and it has deserved to be part of agriculture for centuries, right?
yeah, but I
And the
mean, more
reason it's not
important.
known in this country very well is
Yeah,
because we're urban.
we're
If we
what?
went back, because we are now urban
Oh, right.
as a society, and if we went back to 1850, people in the East, where it's native, they would know it. You would almost
I see.
everyone would know of it.
Yeah. Well,
And
I'm
now
a
we
city
no longer.
boy. I never heard of this stuff or whatever. And it seems, I mean, I never see it in the supermarkets or anything. But I mean, to me, what's so important too, you have a delicious fruit to encourage people to eat better, which it seems very important in our country. Maybe not
Yeah,
Africa, but here to have a new product that is tasty and delicious to get away from that other crap that we've been eating and stuffing our yaps with.
yeah,
That seems
processed
important.
food, right? Processed food that we eat so
Yeah,
much.
right.
Back to the fruits and vegetables. Yeah,
So now
and
you, I
very
mean,
nutritious.
yeah, and
Very.
that's why nutritional and tasty, and getting kids weaned over, and the rest of us too, adults too, off of this other stuff. I mean, that's what I see. A great contribution you're making out of this. I mean, who else isn't bringing a new fruit to the market? Besides that's not processed.
Occasionally, it happens, right? Right.
Yeah,
Do you remember when kiwis came to the
yeah,
supermarket?
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So not that it's frequent, but
right.
and they're
Well,
from they're not native here. What here's a wonderful episode, which is the blueberry. The
ah.
blueberry did not become well known until after 1920. When,
Wow. So you're the
yeah,
new blueberry. It's a
and
real American thing. And the
yeah,
blueberry was the last real American thing we brought to the world.
that's it. Yeah,
So now,
we're
now
going to
it's
need orchards.
Peterson.
We're going to need orchards right now. Up till now, it's mostly backyard growers who buy the trees.
Uh-huh.
And so the fruit is for themselves. And there are a few small orchards, and you can get them. Now, I believe, in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Well, in September, if you were to go to the DuPont Circle Fresh Farm Market,
Oh, I run by there every week.
okay, yes, that's on Sunday morning. Well, they usually have, during September, they have pawpaw.
Wonderful. I'm
Now, you
going to
know,
be there. Wow. No, I know because I'm at a place in Adams Morgan we hang out on the weekend, and when I jog, I go through that market there, and it's a wonderful place. Well, that's wonderful. But now you're turning into this a big agribusiness in a way by
that here's the future. That once we take baby steps, we
right.
don't we don't get to the top of the mountain without climbing up the bottom slope, and that's where we are right now.
But now you're on Kickstarter with your petersonspompas.com. That also take you to Kickstarter to find out about contributing to get this thing off the ground or out of the dirt or whatever it is.
Because what the Kickstarter is to get them to Europe and Japan. They don't have,
Ah,
other
ah,
than they're not native there, so people don't know what it is and don't know how to pronounce it. And I don't
right.
care how they pronounce it, actually, as long as they eat it.
That's right.
They can call it Asamina instead of pawpaw. I don't care, as long as they can get the best varieties, which will encourage everyone to eat them. If you taste an inferior one, you may never want to taste another one
Ah,
again.
I see.
That's why I want
Right.
to get the best ones out there.
One bad date with a dumb blonde, and you're never going back, huh?
I
Right.
guess so.
Right. But it seems that you know the $20,000 is really just for the legal stuff, so you
Legal stuff.
can market these around the world, and people get an authentic pow pow and not some cheap, tasteless imitation. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, they can in the wild. They
Yeah.
can be bitter, and the texture can be gritty. I
Uh,
mean, this is always a wonderful eating experience. Now, I say that to balance it against the best, which is in the wild. It can be wonderful,
mhm.
but my varieties are much larger. They can be as big as a mango or bigger, up to a pound,
Wow.
and they have many fewer seeds. A wonderful, luscious texture that melts in your mouth, and very sweet, and the flavor is somewhat like banana with mango, with pear, a little bit of pine.
Ooh. Ooh.
Tropical tasting. And how do you describe a flavor? It's really hard. How would you describe
Right.
strawberry? You know,
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
pretty
wine connoisseurs describe it in stuff that never means anything to me. They seem to have a lot of language for it. So maybe
yeah.
you'll get like that someday, with all these uh, euphemisms for flavors. But it's still remarkable to me that we have this wonderful fruit that grows wild and nobody knows about it. And I think it's just wonderful that you're taking the time with your life. I mean, you didn't do this in the last couple of months. I mean, you've been at this for a long time, haven't you?
About 38 years.
Give or take a few months, right?
Yeah,
Well, but you're an agricultural economist, it sounds like. That's what you grew up
it's
with, yeah?
true. It's true.
Yeah.
I was an agricultural economist with USDA for 18 years. And
Wow.
my focus was on small farm research.
Ah, and 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 this really didn't come out of that. This was really a side project you were doing.
This was definitely a side project. Not I wasn't paid by the government to do it.
Right, right. So this is like a busman's holiday. You were doing the same kind of work, but not
Yeah.
getting paid for it because you enjoy it
Oh,
so
it's
much.
agriculture.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And so if this happens then, which it happened because you made your quota, but people have a couple more days yet to get on and help you. And what kind of gifts are you handing out to people to help you?
Oh, well, yes, there are different levels of pledging, and each level of pledging comes with different rewards.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you can get bumper stickers and
Ah,
and seeds. Those are the low level rewards, right?
right.
Then there's a mug,
Ah,
a wonderful T-shirt that says "I'm pro Pawpaw and I vote."
wonderful. See?
And, yeah, and a cap. We have a wonderful cap with our logo and name on it. Then if you're at there's a book coming out, not by
Oh,
me. I'm not the author, but I will
uh-huh.
sign the book, and it's on the history of pawpaw from the past
Wow.
to the present.
Well, that's
And
that's
and
great.
then,
So you
what
go
else?
ahead.
There's fruit. At the higher levels, you get a 10-pound box of fruit, premium fruit, my variety. You
Wow.
get trees. You get two trees of my
Man, I
variety.
could grow them in my backyard, huh?
Yes, you most certainly can. They grow all the way up to New York State, down to
Wow.
New Orleans, out to Kansas, and up into West
Wow.
Michigan. I mean, they grow all over the East.
So I can help you pay your legal bills and eat pom poms for the rest of my life in my backyard.
Your backyard. And two trees will give you as much as you can eat, personally.
Wow, no kidding. Two trees would give a family all they need for the rest of their life, huh?
Yeah. The thing is, to explain, since most people have never seen a pawpaw,
Right.
they're very perishable. They're
Uh,
just there in season. Apples you can store for a long
I
time,
see.
but pawpaws you cannot
Can
store,
that sort of.
except for about 3 weeks in the refrigerator. But
Well,
that's
that
nice to have, I think, seasonal fruit.
absolutely, especially fresh and tasty. I watched your video. The people are tasting this that never tasted before. I mean, it looks like they're tasting custard or tapioca pudding or something. That kind of texture and the excitement in their face when they do this. I mean, just to
Yeah,
watch those videos are wonderful.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Neil.
Yeah,
Glad you're there and doing this and to help you out and to find out about these and be the first in your neighborhood with a pow pow tree in your backyard. You go to
go ahead
Peterson
and buy trees
Pow
from me.
Peterson Pow Pows. Boy, I can't say that. .com.
Oh, it's like
Paws
paw.
paws, right? Like a dog paw. Peterson PAWPAWS.com.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you, Neil. See you around the Beltway.
Okay.
Take care.